Hi, welcome to OWAD today. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We're going to continue our flight or our journey in discovering just a little bit more about this amazing language every day. In the past 2 days, we talked about something about your heart, about your intention. So we use heart and something plus heart, which is sound or singing plus heart. And this is singing eventually extending into music, right? The heart of the music of the heart. So this is 心 and 意 combined with different numbers. So we have a 3 heart and 2 intent. That means you're not committed to something. You are still debating. You're still ambiguous about direction to go. And then we have 1 heart and 1 intention. That means what you thinking you're going is actually what you do want to go. So there's no second guesses, second thoughts, right? So 一心一意 means you fully committed to something. So that's 三心二意 and 一心一意 kind of polar meaning. And today we have another combination. And if you don't look at heart and yi, which is the same as before, we just look at the 真 and 实. 真实 is by the 2 next to each other. 真实 is our Chinese commonly used expression. It's a contemporary expression as well. So 真心实意 actually you can tell by this combination that it is kind of a more recent 4-letter phrase formations is not as ancient as before, right? Because 真实 is a contemporary use. We often use for something as real or fact checked. It's it's not fake, it's real. Okay, so 真实. So like a true lie, that movie we translate as 真实的谎言. So it's like what you see as what you get, kind of 真实. Okay, so we get to 真. We came across several times before. And when I reviewed the videos I did before, I realized that I explained that in a certain way, I try to make sense. So mostly regarding this top portion. The bottom, we don't have second thoughts ourselves. So this is eye symbol, right? The block with 2 horizontal lines. That's our depiction of the eyeball. And for the efficiency of writing, it changed from the horizontal because eye opening is kind of horizontally elongated shape. And we verticalize that to make it faster to write, because writing this is much faster than writing this. Okay, so that's eye. And then this bottom corner, that means something on the ground level, something not easy to see, something you have to really look down and examine. So that's kind of a ground level truth. We can kind of say that. And the bottom are the 2 legs, something you're going to do with it. So the top portion are the ones that kind of, how to explain it? Because this character means dagger, something knife, something about a killing. So before I was saying, okay, is it like a killing? The fact, because there are noises and there are signals, you have to kill the noise to get down to the essential message. That is the 真实 you're going to discover, the truth, the true fact. You're going to discover. But some say this top, you see the contemporary writing, the simplified one. This means our number 10 because we used to use rope to record things before anything, right? So when we have a knot, have this shape, that means a 10. And eventually this dot thing becomes extended as a horizontal thing. So it becomes like a cross. Okay, Chinese doesn't have a crucifixion concept. It's our 10. It means the knot on the rope. And okay, so 10 eyes, we can explain it as 10 pairs of eyes are looking at the same thing. So whatever it is are examined from all different angles. You're not going to miss. There's no shadow. There's no hidden facts. So that's the facts that you're seeing because 10 pairs of eyes are looking at. But okay, today I'm going to introduce the third way to understand this. This shape, I don't know if ancient language creators are actually data analysts like me, because it does look like a kind of what do you call Euclidean coordinate space, right? So it's a 2D space. You have one dimension, axis, and y dimension, right? And a lot of times when analysts visualize a situation, we're going to starting from 0 point of 2 dimensions, and then something going to change here, right? So that looks just like that. That's my way to connect to the third meaning of this icon, this image shape, that it is something about change. So this is my way to say, oh, it's like a chart. And then over time, things are going to, so there is an over time. So this is our time axis. Over time, things are going to change. That's my way to relate to it, but it does have the third meaning of it is actually means change. So now we can see, we can throw in this time factor into the rest of the combination. So there are 4 elements in this in this character formation. So change, your eyes are going to observe on the ground level, and then you're going to execute, carry it out, walking it out. So these 4 elements together means the truth seeking. So this, okay, so that's our truth. Pretty complicated. And then we have a 十. 十 is a little bit easier because it's quite visual. It's 3 elements throwing together into this picture. We have this arch, big arch thing with a chimney on the top. That means it's a covered space. It's normally a house. It's a man-made structure. And with the space, it means kind of personal privacy, or it means it's property, it's a defined boundary, and it can be protected, can be used this boundary between people, right? So this is like, this is mine, this is my house. So within that, then you have this symbol of kind of looking like an eye, but except that these 2 are connected to the edges. Right? That's a pattern on the seashell. The whole thing is seashell, and they also have 2 legs dangling out. So that's our money sign, because seashells used to be used as the currency. And then this portion, it almost like the target, right? It's like a sniper used that. Is it called a vision or something like that, right? And then except that the horizontal line goes through, passes through. This is an image. So this passing through thing is the main indicator of this is the rope that used in ancient times to combine, to string together money together. So imagine back then people don't really use paper, so it's not thing. So for the ease of carrying, right, things are stringed together, and they probably string together in a unit. So that's like the sum of like $10 bill or $100 bill, like in a form that's ready to go, right? It's efficiency back then. So this straining of money sign in the back then, the money could also be something like a coin shape, but with the middle in a rectangular shape that's open. So that's where the rope are going to go through each one of those and then string them together. So that's kind of like changes, like small value currency back then. So that's why things got to be strained together and changed to make it a bigger value currency, because we cannot just print money $100 over there. So you have this space, private property, no trespass kind of sign over there, and then you have this money sign and the string of money. So money are stringed together over there. So you can kind of see this is somebody's personal bank. They're going to save all their currency, the money symbols under that protected private space. So that's our 实 original. And that means something, why it becomes solid is a little bit stretch. But when you have money in that space, that means this is something filled. This is a space that's filled with something you really like, right? Currency, and then it's not empty. It's kind of filled the space as well, right? So these two symbols kind of fill out this space. That also kind of means like you do have. That simply means your space, your warehouse, or your personal bank are filled, and this filled eventually extended into concept of it's solid, it's not empty, it's not half and half, right? It's filled up with currency, with money, safety near. So both 真 and 实 add up together. So this is kind of observing, this is mental, this is physical, this is like something solidly in there, in that space. The two combined with 心 and 意, which is about heart, with the music of the heart, right? So it's your intention. Combined together means it's sincere. It's something you like beneath the facade of the people. It is what you're really thinking. So 真心实意 normally used in the context of business transaction. That means the merchant is giving you the solid price. They didn't upcharge you by a chunk, kind of scam you out of something. But 真心实意 also means the buyer side too. Like I really, really want it. I'm not really just to negotiate for the fun of negotiation. I really, really want this piece. So in 真心实意, we use in that context, try to negotiate and convince the other party to give us agreeable pricing so that we can make the deal. So that's often used. It does relate to money, relate to transaction. So here I put 5 shells of there, try to visualize how ancient people are using this image, this block with 2 horizontal lines and 2 legs to mean shell. I understand the leg thing as something soft, right? Because the inside the shell, the soft form body is the living creature living in the shell. But I also can view it kind of like this 2 structure. It's beyond the shell, kind of a radiance shape, the scallop shape with a scallop edge, but also have the 2 corners, make it kind of the bottom, make it standable, right? Make the bottom stand flat so that it can be on a surface that with a flat bottom instead of this is like no way to stand, right? It's like either fall this way or that way, but with fleshing out the bottom, the seashell can kind of plunk over there, stand flat over there. So I visualize that 2 little dangling thing could also mean this. That's our sincere, it's our 真心实意. Catch into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.